Hey Saints, it's your girl Royce, and I'm back with another conversation with Lilia Talks. And we are going to talk about something that is pushed by the camps, not all, but some. And that is, should Israelite women be wearing pants, or should women in general be wearing pants, right? In under a minute, wear your pants. It's not a big deal. Wear your pants. Okay, so we're going to talk about it now. Pants are not solely for men, number one. Okay. And it really depends on what culture you're in and grew up in, because like in areas like China, it is very common for women to, historically, women to wear pants, and that's normal. That's the norm. So are they breaking God's laws by doing that? No, they're not. Okay. Excuse this big old 8 head, okay? But basically, what the scripture, Deuteronomy 22, I think it's 5, what it's really talking about is putting on something, and not just physically, like putting on a shirt. It means anything. It could be putting on anything. And it changing your personality, it changing your character. That's what it's talking about. It's not talking about just wearing pants. I don't care if you're wearing a skirt and maybe your skirt is a little too high and it make you feel like a city girl. If it's changing your personality when you don't wear that skirt, Mother Teresa, whoever she is, whatever. But you acting like some, Israelite saint or whatever, and then you put your little mini skirt on and all of a sudden you a city girl. Hot girl summer, then you're wrong. And this is something separate. This is something very separate from just wearing modest apparel, because some pants are modest. Not all pants are tight. You got like bell bottom pants. Whatever. You got different types of styles of pants. So pants doesn't necessarily mean male, that it's for male. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not modest. You get what I'm saying? So, and it really just depends on what culture you grew up in, if that's something that a woman would wear, So it's not, the focus is not really on pants, but it's on anything that changes your vessel, changes your character, changes who you are, and ends what God set forth. Because we all know God is a God of order. What is the order? The order is Yah, Messiah, Yeshua, the husband, the wife, the children. So anything that stops that order, then Yah is going to have a problem with that. Okay? So what it's really talking about is trans community, cross-dressing, anything that takes you from the order that he puts you in. That is what it's talking about. And I'm not trying to pick on the trans community or anything like that. But I'm saying, if you believe in the God of Israel, if you follow that belief system, then that God is against it. Now, if you don't worship God of Israel and you're not his child and you're not trying to be his child, you do you, because this ain't for you. But this is for the people who have the belief system or faith in the Messiah Yeshua in order to obtain salvation from Yahuwah. So that's who this is for. So please don't come for me, even though I will take you down with the word. But like I said, this is for children of Israel and those that follow the belief system. Okay, so what we're going to talk about here is, like I said, that pants and all that stuff, that just goes according to whatever culture you grew up in. It has more to do with character. It has to do with character, and not so much just wearing clothes. So let me make sure I look at my notes. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay. So what is Deuteronomy talking about? What is Deuteronomy talking about? Deuteronomy is the whole book of Deuteronomy is really just focusing on the covenant with Israel, right? It's giving us all the laws, statutes, commandments, and ordinances that Yah has set forth for us to obey. And the messenger is Moses. So Moses is given all these laws and ordinances and statutes and things like that to the people of Israel, that we may be a light for the others in the future, right? But this is for them to obey. This is pertaining to our covenant and what rules we're supposed to be following, right? So, and if we don't follow them, it also tells you the consequences of not keeping these rules, right? But we're not talking about the consequences right now. We're just talking about, are we allowed to wear pants or are we not allowed to wear pants? And you can, and I'm just letting you know, you can wear your pants as long as it's not changing your character. If I put on pants, I have on pants right now. Boom, I have on pants. If you have on pants and it is making you be more combative with your husband, or now all of a sudden you want to feel like a boss, you are changing who you were set to be by Yah. And that is where it's wrong. So don't wear it if it's changing your personality. If it's changing your character, don't do it, because you're supposed to have a set character that God set forth for us. So we need to keep that same energy. Okay? Okay, so let's break it down. Let's break down these scriptures, right? Okay, so to wear in Hebrew is haya, like haya, right? That's wrong. Okay, so it means to become. So when you got your people trying to teach you something, they're telling you, oh, it means to wear this. No, it just means to become something else. So to wear something means to put on, to become, to exist. That's what it means, right? And the ancient, okay, so if you don't know ancient Hebrew, which I am still learning, okay, so the sign for like to exist, which is to wear, it means the same thing. To be, to exist, to wear, they all mean the same thing in the Hebrew language. So the sign is like a man with his hands up. Looks like he's praying, right? But his hands are up, but not together. And with his hands up, and it's two of them. And that shows the emphasis, right? So if your hands are up, it's like two little stick man with their hands up. What that means is to breathe. That means breath, to exist. So this is all ancient Hebrew. Okay, so if you see a picture with the two men, that means breath. To exist, to be, right? To become. Okay, what it's referring to though is character. It's not just, it's being like who you are. I'm existing like this is who I am. You know what I mean? So when you say to wear, it is not necessarily saying clothes, like just clothes. It can be clothes, but it's not solely clothes. It's more pertaining to character. So I wanted to pull that up in my, if you want to know what book I have, I don't know if you can read it, but this is, maybe I'll flip it over. I'll flip the camera real quick. Okay, so the book is the Ancient Hebrew Lexicon of the Bible. So basically what this book is it tells you what the words mean in Hebrew back then, you know. So we're going to go to 102 because I marked it. Okay, so I don't want you to think that I am lying about anything. Okay, so we're talking about breath and to exist, to be, right? And we know that means to wear. So if you have a Strong's concordance or something like that, or you can look up that breath, that wear means to breathe or to exist. Okay, so there's the two little men that I was saying, right? You can pause that if you want to. Okay, so when, I'm trying to get it straight. Okay, to exist. To exist or have breath. That which exists has breath. In the Hebrew thought, the breath is character of someone or something, just as a man has character. Okay, so that's just showing you proof. Now, this is a book that it tells you the definition of words from the Hebrew cultural perspective. So it's not talking about actually just wearing clothes. It's talking about changing or ending the character that God had already set for you to be. So if he wanted a woman to be modest and meek and mild and things like that, and obedient and subservient. If you are doing something or putting something on that ends that behavior or that character, then you are wrong. Okay? If you are just wearing pants because you just feel like wearing some pants, or I wear pants, they're comfortable. I still know my place as a woman, and I still know my place as a wife. So it doesn't change who I am. It doesn't change my frame of thought. It doesn't change my actions when I put on pants versus wearing a skirt or a dress. It doesn't change. So therefore, I can wear it. And so can you. I want to let you guys know I have multiple resources, okay? So a lot of the times I'm not just saying things out of the top of my head. I, number one, have my Bible. I have my notepad so I can take notes. I have my lexicon. I have my Zondervan Bible dictionary. I have my Hebrew Bible, which is all in Hebrew. I have my Strongs. I have my Vines. This is another dictionary, Bible dictionary. I have my Apocrypha. I have my Book of Enoch, Jubilees, and Jasher. Okay? These are the main books that I use to study with, but they are not the only books I use to study. I encourage you guys to go out and get these books. I will put the link, not a link, but in the description box what those books are. But I encourage you guys to go get these books so that y'all can stop listening to these people using the Bible and not really understanding the scriptures. They don't study the scriptures. They read it, but they read it from an American perspective and not from a Hebrew perspective. We have to understand that if I say I'm going to the crib and somebody who's not a part of my culture, they may think that I'm going to go see a baby's bed. Right? I'm going to the crib. I'm going to go see a baby's bed. But anybody that's part of my culture, they know I'm going home. I'm going to my house. I'm going to the crib. I'm going to my house. But if you don't understand that language and that culture, then you're going to misinterpret what that person is trying to say. You know what I mean? So that's the same thing when it comes to the Hebrew language. Just because the word is the same as the word that they write in the book is the same type of word we use in American English, that does not mean that it has the same meaning in Hebrew culture and how they spoke. So when we're talking about wearing something in this particular situation, it is not talking about just putting on pants. It is talking about putting on anything, makeup, weave, a hat, a tie, anything that changes you, man and women, anything that changes your character from who he designed you to be, or anything that goes against his order. So if you're wearing something or you're doing something that is taking you out of the order of Yah, then you're doing wrong. Then you should not. So if you're wearing some pants and they all super, super tight and it make you want to poke your butt out, don't be wearing them pants. But if you're wearing some pants and they super tight and it just make you want to walk normal, well, then wear your pants. But if it changes your behavior, then don't do it. You got me? All right, saints, let's talk about it.